The Jade Dragon God is finally here, and more than any other Cathay Lord especially, you couldn't really balls up the start of this one, but if you follow some steps and understand his campaign mechanics, you can go on an absolute tear. And here we are, the start of a brand new legendary very hard campaign. And just the quick housekeeping, we just reached 10k. Thank you so much everyone who's subscribed. We have tons of new content coming out, so make sure you're subbed and have the bell button pressed. And also thanks to Creative Assembly for this early access version. Now let's get into it. So these guys, of course, they are unique because they start over in Lustria. They have 2 starts, and this is my kind of problem if you've seen the channel before. I absolutely love these starts, they make you think. Now before we start, before you do anything, step 1, make sure you open up the Matters of State bar. The Matters of State mechanic simply revolves around having 4 tokens in your hand at any time. You can spend 2 stones on abilities and you'll be randomly given 2 more to replace it. You can see your stones here. Now here's the deal, you can only get more stones by using the 4 stone ability. Doesn't matter which color it is, but you need to apply this to one of your fortresses. So unless you never want to grow and use these bigger ones, you need to keep on using abilities to try and get 4 of the same color, doesn't matter what it is, and then apply it to a tier 3 settlement. Every campaign begins with 2 black tokens and 2 green tokens. The game is programmed upon your first action to always provide you with 4 of the same token. As you can see, we still have 2 in hand, and this lets us know that the next 2 we receive will be black, allowing us to get our 4, but you don't get them straight away. You will need to wait 5 turns to get each token, so that's 10 in total, but you can water this down by winning battles. This will reduce the turn by 1, but as you can see, it takes a really long time to get extra tokens. The only way to get rid of tokens is to spend actions, but you will find it very, very difficult to get 4 of the same token. Now if we spend 2 more black tokens, we can see that the next 2 we get will be green. This means we need to spend another 2 tokens in the hopes of getting that flush of 4 of the same. So the first step is we're going to go to the floating pyramid, build our main building up to tier 3, and we're going to use the ability to rush construction on this settlement. So as you see, we perform it, and we use 2 of our green tokens, and we've been given a flash of black tokens. To be completely honest, it's actually so annoying trying to get these first 4. I recommend it, just pocket them for now, so you can then get your tier 3 settlement. But I personally prefer the security of being able to build up and get more tokens and use some of these big bad boys right here. You can slow down to see what they are if you like, and let's get into it. So in our main capital, we will be building a port, and in the neighboring settlement, we will be building the growth building. Now, growth is nowhere near as valuable in this game. Worry about gold and defense, don't worry about growth, but here we do want growth because in order to increase our token count, we need to declare a capital, tier 3 or above, a fortress city, or a commercial district. Either will do, it does not matter. Combat, let's move up to the outer perimeter of this orc army here, attach your alchemist, and let's go to town. Nice and easy. Remember, you have harmony. You need to be in the bubble of your melee troops and ranged units to get the bonuses. So we're going to go castle up hard against this wall here. We're going to use some spears, swords in the middle, spears on the flank, and let's number 2, our alchemist, and we're going to put our dragon lord at the front, and we're going to hide away our flying cavalry off to the side so we can get some flanking. You can sit back and let your winds charge up if they don't want to attack you, and it is morphing time. Show your true form, and let's do some punishing. Hold spacebar to assess their range. If you want to be really cheesy and safe, you can waste all of their ammo. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, let's go and mess them up. Alright, so if you want to try and avoid aerial fire, so go 3 clicks one way, 3 clicks the other way if you knew it this. And then you'll be able to notice the way that they fire, and you can tend to avoid it quite well. Just because you're a dragon does not mean you're invincible, right? You will get quite tough, but not quite yet. Don't want to come from my army. Alright, well we're going to have to bring the army to them. We're going to move our flying units around the back, flank them, and we're going to hit them all at once in a pincer. We're going to send our alliance charging in here. This is another one of the new units. Give you guys a good shot of these guys. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. I really like these. We want 4 of those in your mid to late game armies. They're really cool and they're a lot of fun. Use your line to pin them down and then cast Searing Doom over the top. And look at that damage. Now send your flying units in for their infantry, and we're going to use our lord to beat their lord because I think we're going to win this one, guys. Now these lines are also really good for running down enemy units. And we're just going to send him after. These guys are really good at sniping down enemy lords on the run. They should be able to do that losing very little, so if that's the case, get the gold. If not, take the replenishment. Now, the other good thing about fighting manually is that you can sometimes get an extra fight out of that guy. There you go. And this will actually help you, because how do we get more tokens? Well, every 5 turns you get an extra token to build back to your original 4. You can shorten this by 1 turn by winning a battle, and that's why having 2 fronts with this lord is so powerful, because each is fighting, chipping down at that counter. Now, if you really want to gamble, you can spend these 2 black stones and then run the risk of not having 4 of the same. It takes ages sometimes to get 4 of the same stone, because you're looking at 10 turns less battles to be able to get these 2 stones back. So you really, once you get 4, I just recommend hold on to them, but you need a tier 3 settlement in order to do this. Leveling up, we want movement as soon as possible, and we also want to increase that movement even further. Move up as far as you can and hire 2 peasant archers. Now, we have another territory to take care of. Gives you the chance to escape this territory if you so desire, but we're not going to do that. Build a second lord. I prefer the Law of Ming for the early battles. I think the law is a little bit better. So garrison your lord and hire 1 archer and 1 spearman. For research, get fletchling mentors, helps you get a bit of extra arrow damage early on, and for the Wujing compass. Now, for your very first compass, use the top right corner. This gives extra control and growth, and very useful in the early game. You probably noticed that we have some corners locked off here. This is the goal of the entire campaign. Up here are 4 locations, and these are the cities where you need to build a unique relay building, which will allow the compass to be guided and unlock an ultimate end game campaign. Once constructed, some buff lizardmen armies will try to jump on, and some of them are very tough. Make sure you have some good armies guarding them. So early on, the game will look like it's pushing you up here because you started at war here. Do not get distracted. Your prize is down here in Lustria. 1, 2, 3 relay points here, but you have the 4th here in Exoatl. You need to basically get this stabilized and then start marching down, because you don't want the other good factions to be taking all the territory. You want to take all the territory while it's held by evil factions, making your diplomacy very easy. Finally, diplomacy. Now, our ultimate goal will be, of course, just to stabilize this region and use it as a tax base. We will be, by force, taking the Celestial Riverlands, but down here and up here we have some minor factions we can confederate. Do not do anything with the dissenters. They're at war with Jiaming. We want to stay on side with him, so ignore them, but do everything you can to endear yourselves to the Burning Wind. Sign whatever you can with them, as well as the Jade Custodians. In my last playthrough, I got these guys confederated on turn 10. You can do that too. It's much easier to confederate in these later patches. And also the Eastern River Lords, let's sign ourselves up with them. There's Jiaming, sign up with him, absolutely. Don't sign anything with evil factions. Just a quick reminder, guys, if you are enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out. Ask any question in the comments, I answer everything. And if you'd like to talk strategy, feel free to join the Discord. Cheers. Turn 2 is starting off back in Cathay. We're going to move our secondary lord up to the border, and we're going to do just enough so we can hop into encamp stance, and we will be hiring 1 more peasant archer and spearman. I can tell someone's going to rebut this perfect turn start by saying you can rush this settlement here, and that will give you another capital. But here's the deal, is that it's going to distract you away from wiping these guys out early and securing some really nice tradables. We're going to be nice, and we're going to allow Marcus Wolfhart to take those guys out. Force march for some extra movement. Same lord, get the one with the best defensive stats, make it Ming magic. Now over the end turn they should besiege, but they won't attack. They want to wear this settlement down first, and this will give us a chance to counterattack with Yuan Bo. Always check your diplomacy, see if there's any good trade deals from any good factions. There's not. Turn 3, this is where things can vary. Sometimes they'll use both of their stacks here to basically besiege this army. This is where Yuan Bo can come, save the day, and then break that siege. Now, this time I haven't seen this before, so we're learning together. They've actually retreated back here. So again, there's 2 choices here. Take this settlement, it'll help them complete theirs, so they will buy this off you for an absolute mozza. However, the battle will probably wreck most of your army, and I would rather give you a really strong and safe start. After these 10 turns, this is virtually unlosable. So we're going to march Yuan Bo up to their settlement, reinforce with our secondary army, and let's do it. Sword in the middle to catch the infantry, and then of course spears on the flanks to help protect against cavalry. Again, get in the habit, 3 clicks one way, 3 clicks the other way, keeping in a forward trajectory, no turns on the spot. Away from their lord, and let's just dive in. Move the army up again, that's fine. Yes. You'll notice here that I'm letting them keep on firing to hopefully shatter them so they don't come back into the battle. We could have got a better result with that, but it's fine. We will live. That is our province complete. This will give you the opportunity. You can break away with the capital for a bunch of gold, or we can keep a foothold. As always, I always like to keep a foothold at home and continue the expedition. Doesn't matter who it is, the campaign is usually designed for that, and you'll get the best results, even though it's a bit trickier. So we're going to keep Shangwu, and you're going to see that this is actually going to really compound our benefit, which we can see that we're now only 1 turn away, even though it's only 3 turns, because each battle we win strips a turn away from the counter, and we're going to get another stone. I think we're going to go for extra control, but soon enough you want the +7 research everywhere, and you can hire 2 more archers in Yuan Bo's army. You're going to get some nice replenishments. Now, as always, as a dragon god, you are so sport for choice with your skill tree. There are a few different things you can do. Yeah, sure, you can lower your attrition. Getting irrepressible will give you 30% replenishment on your lord, so if you want to go full crazy dragon with him, this is a legendary guide. The best thing to do this early on will be to increase the potency of your archers. Honestly, Searing Doom from your metal caster is enough magic for you to survive, and is really good against the enemies you'll come up against, though his magic tree is very good. Also, his unique tree is very good. As you would expect, he is an incredible administrator, able to just build, which Cathay do better than anyone else, and absolutely dominate. So if you're not playing on legendary, go straight down the magic line and then improve his personal stats. We're playing safe. Now over at the capital, how are things going? We should be recruiting, and we have enough troops now to start our attack. These guys are at war with the Burning Wizard Nomads, so rather than just declare war, let's make a bit of cash, building our relations as well as our bank account. We're going to secure this territory here. So first it starts by taking this. And on the battlefield we've quick numbered our archers, and we're going to set up down here because we can use this terrain to our advantage to help shield our inferior numbers. Let's do it. Alright, so we've got a time limit till we get flanked. That's okay. Alright, we're going to shoot these bats. Oh, the wolves, they hurt. They hurt. Alright, let's use this dragon spell along the length of the front line to do some good area of effect damage. Alright, we're going to push the spears into the hounds and moving our archers away. Alright, again, pinning a unit and then getting some nice ranged shots into their rear. Using the Dragon Breath along the front line to keep doing that area of effect damage. We're going to focus each unit down to a fraction of its health, then change target. Don't try to wipe the unit, just ruin the unit. Nowhere near as bad as it looks. And there we go, and of course we're occupying all this territory. We want this to be nice and peaceful. We can also build Jade Warriors here, and we absolutely want to build 2 of those to hold our front line, because we're going to have some company very damn soon. We also have a barracks allowing us to build Jade Warriors, so build one of those as well as an archer. If you do want to take Sector Zuma on turn 3, instead reinforce with Yuan Bo. Don't attack with him first, and have him sit just outside here, and he'll have enough movement to move back. As you can see, once he occupies the territory, he can't reach. So if you do want to take that on turn 4, have this secondary lord do the fighting, have him stand back there, and he'll be able to march back. Instead, we're going to go full ham and hog up here into the greenskins. For now, move up to the edge of your territory and let's hire 2 more archers. We're going to move our secondary lord down here in ambush stance. Of course, upgrade your capital city. Look for 50% of your movement, just move slightly under it. And as we can see, he has his lord there. He is no doubt coming for us next turn. So what we'll do is we're going to run back here and then hire another archer as well as another Jade Warrior. If you really want to flex, you can take that battle, but we're not going to do that. Turn number 5, and right on cue, Marcus has taken this capital here, but this completes his territory, meaning he'll be very strong, and you can basically use him to guard this flank here. If somehow he doesn't take it that turn, get this lord and besiege it, and then join the war with the Skaven. This will mean he'll probably come up and reinforce, and you can take it. Because he's a major faction, he'll have his turn first, allowing him to reinforce you, hopefully to wipe them out. And we're going to start off by sending Yuan Bo by himself. We're going to build some equipment, and we're going to hold there. On the easy difficulties, you'll probably be able to auto-resolve that, but I know that he's going to come out and attack, and we're going to do this fight. And on the battlefield, they have a ton of Warhounds, and I'm not going to lie, I'm scared of all those little doggos, so we don't want to get caught out. I do not want to get flanked, so we're going to use the natural terrain here to our advantage. We don't want one dog to tie up multiple units. We're going to hold the line with Jade Warriors, move back just a little bit. We can see that they're approaching on this flank. Get your units of spears, stretch them out, and we're also going to do the same for our archers because we want to start losing arrows into them before they get set up. Alright, so the bats and the wolves are the things we're really scared of here because they will tear our infantry to pieces. Okay, they've got direwolves there. Those direwolves are the biggest threat. We do need to take them out. As you can see, these direwolves are really trying to break through our ranks. Got fellbats coming in. Go on tight. When you see them trying to run past units, try to grip them with yours. Alright, good. As previously mentioned, you could do that on the previous turn. I want people to enjoy these walkthroughs because, well, you don't need to do a flexi start to have a strong campaign with this guy. I'm going to give you both territories safely and sustainably, and you shouldn't have any nasty surprises. That's what I'm trying to do here. So let's finish him off. That'll be an easy auto-resolve. And hire one more Jade Warrior and one more Archer. If you can't tell what we're doing here, we're trying to have a front line, typically of Jade Warriors. You only need 2 spearmen at the back, and then we want some Archers to shoot over the top. And at base, we can now get the passive as well as Wall of Fire to buff up our Yang Wizard. We're going to have some company very damn soon. We also have a barracks allowing us to build Jade Warriors, so build one of those as well as an Archer. And right on time, here we are. They are trying to attack us. Check out the formations guides if you haven't seen them. They will show you a bunch of stuff. And we want to rush down this hill. I know it sounds counterproductive. We want the high ground, Anakin. Okay, we're going to send our dragon down the back. I'm going to use our flying units to harass their archers. Casting in the blobs. Cool, that unit's nearly broken. Okay, make sure you don't lose your flying units, they can get a bit squishy. That is one. Now leveling up, we're going to get 2 more points in Peasant Archers, and then for some fun, I like to play with the Source. He gets cheap lines. We're going to get a couple of jet lines and a couple of jet lines, 1 in each flank, and that'll be our cavalry detachment for his army. We had to fight this manually because I was going to lose one of my units in the auto-resolve, so a bit annoying. We're going to transform into the dragon to fly over the top, and remember, Searing Doom can hit units on walls, which is, of course, very useful. One thing that's really handy is that you can basically out-duel any other lord. Once you take their lord down to only a quarter health left, make sure you use the execute ability and you will instantly destroy the lord. And goodbye. Great way to quickly win a battle and snap. And of course we want a stable empire. We will be occupying this. 2 Jade Warriors, I think 3 of those and 2 spears will be enough of the front line for our army. We can also move up. Should have done that first and got the experience on her. Now we're going to be a bit sneaky here. We're going to hire our regiments of renown just to flesh this army out a little bit more, to give us a little bit more kick, and we are going to force march all the way over. This army will be able to take that last territory, no problem at all, allowing us to focus this way. Back in Cathay, let's take this settlement, and we are only 1 more away up. I really don't care enough. Just going to auto-resolve it. Let's keep the show rolling. Occupy, and these guys are virtually done. We'll check diplomacy, and Marcus wants to sign non-aggression and all that other good stuff with you, and I would do that because there's a bunch of demons down here. Having some human allies is actually pretty cool, so let's at least buddy up with humans, even if no one else. Because also we want to get a military alliance with him so we can pass through his territory nice and easy, freeing us up to go around here and start taking these ritual sites. Back in your capital, you can build another settlement up to tier 2, and we're going to do this one here for the simple reason is we can get another resource to trade with. Turn number 7, let's finish off these orcs. We're moving up, and now move up as close as you can. You can actually get right behind this rock here. 1 Jade Warrior and 1 Archer. And back in our capital, we have 1 territory left to take from these vampires, and that will be an easy auto-resolve, no doubt. That is the only threat we had in the area taken care of. Now we are pulling in a nice over 1,000 gold in that territory. Is there anyone that wants to confederate? Not yet. I forgot to do this earlier. Make sure you send out your caravans. Go Castle Drakenhof first. It gives you a blade which gives regeneration. Very nice on your Dragon Lord. Always upgrade your capitals first. Upgrade your buildings, and of course we want growth just for this settlement here to get to tier 3 as quickly as possible. Let's finish off these orcs. This is really important. If you can get a flank fully exposed and just loose arrows into it, you will absolutely demolish them. Alright, we've taken that territory and we're going to occupy to complete the province. We now have some Dark Elves, and on more than one test I saw these guys approaching. Make sure you do some hiring here because you have some threats coming. Get 2 lots of Jade Warriors. They're shielded and will help defend against the threat of their Dark Shards. Declaring war. Let's do it. And this shouldn't piss off Marcus too badly. Just got to auto-resolve this one. Occupy. Now back home things kind of get quiet. You're almost just sitting waiting ready to confederate people. They'll have some incursions, you might get attacked by a sneak chook and get a bit of momentum, but really as long as you keep building your military you don't need to worry too much. And here is how we will start our southern offensive. We're going to start with building another lord, one of each peasant, and once we've taken this settlement we'll travel down to the south. This will also help defend if this Dark Elf does decide that they want a piece of us, which they quite likely do. This army we're now going to move up and we're going to take on the dissenters to get ourselves really tight with Jiao Ming. Draw some weapons with their caravan. Let's just auto-resolve that because I can't be bothered. And I always get the replenishment of caravans, you don't want them to die. We've completed our first research. I know it's wise to go all the way through one wing or the other, but I really do like that for the archers, and we're going to get this, an extra 5 growth provinces, and just about all of our gold will come from industry building, so 15% is massive. Oh, and just right on time, as you can see here, the Jade Custodians are on the ropes. We got them at turn 10 last time, and the Burning Wind Nomads aren't often too far behind. Keep marching your second army up here to help Jiao Ming, and back at the capital, and we're going to take this. Let's do it. You're going to have to do that manually. Okay, so there's a lot more of them than us. We want to have this open area to use our archers to our advantage. They have archers too, so we really need to use our dragon. Don't forget to use your magic. Really punish them. The thing is that this is their basic archer unit, not their crossbows, so these are much less dangerous than their crossbows. So make sure you know when you fight the Empire, take out crossbows. Regular archers are relatively weak. Does that wipe them? No, they've got 1 city. Now, we have the chance to take Hexawattle itself, if we so choose. So if they duck out of that, we can take that, which we might want to because that'll cripple them, and that's one of our targets to build the relay station at. Otherwise, make them essentially long-term ally, and then when it gets towards in the campaign, break the treaties, wait 10 turns, and then get the last relay point. So, like I said, from here, you can do what you want. My first run through, I actually took Hexawattle, then I pieced out with them. You can even gift them this province back if you want. We're going to do a mass recruitment exercise here. We'll get 1 Jade Warrior and 1 Archer, and we'll do the same down here, and just keep on heading north. And here we are, turn 10, we've unlocked his quest battle. This gives you plus 20 diplomatic relations with Cathay, so this will make confederating into Cathay itself very easy. So do not declare war with anyone else besides the dissenters or any rebels, right? These guys are all people you can confederate with.
Let us stumble
yes!
through diplomacy together.
That's 2 for 2, confederate, boom.
I am glad.
That's twice in a row that this actually worked, so I'm very happy with that. Northern provinces, let's trade. More trade is good. We do inherit the problems, but we've expanded here. You'll most likely get this area next, and then that is fine. Just start supporting these guys in their wars if you need. Just defend from the north and you are fine. Because your main mission is over here, I'm not even going to bother playing it out. This really is your choice. I'm not even going to play it because I want this to be your choice. You've got 2 armies down here to be able to attack and then start sweeping down here with. You've already got an ally or long-term friend here. You're really well set up. This is why I like. What I recommend you do is fight down at this edge here, take your first relay, come down here, take the next one, and then there. So you can see this is where they're located. Just work your way down there. There's a bunch of chaotic crap here, but that's why you have your allies here, and then you have your fancy new compass with all directions unlocked. And that's it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please consider liking, subbing, and I'll see you next time.